Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos kept to the adage, the show must go on, as Live with Kelly and Mark faced an empty studio audience, keeping the show's energy high and the laughs flowing. But why were there no audience members? A historic snowstorm called for a state of emergency in New York City, where the series is taped live in front of a studio audience. Winter Storm Fern was a 2,000-mile storm that impacted over 235 million Americans across roughly 40 states, stretching from New Mexico to Maine, reported Business Insider. Therefore, the daytime talk series proceeded, but without a studio audience. The last time this rare instance occurred was during the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic in 2000. People magazine reported that the live show went on as scheduled, which consisted of just a handful of crew members. The couple walked out in their usual manner, to cheers from a small group inside the studio. Ripa quipped, "That's loud for 6 of you. We are audience-free today, with the exception of the people that already work here. Yay them. Yes, behold the size of our staff. Gigantic. I like this. We haven't done this since COVID." The couple then discussed the snowstorm, which blanketed New York City in almost a foot of snow and ice. Ripa asked Consuelos if she could take over snow removal duties in front of their New York City townhome until she realized it wouldn't be enough of a workout for her. "You told me it won't be satisfying for you. There's no workout in it." So then once I heard that, I was like, "Oh, forget that," she explained. The couple then welcomed actor Jason Biggs and director Leslie Iwerks. When Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos stepped onto the Live with Kelly and Mark stage one icy morning in New York City, something felt off. The familiar roar of applause was missing. The electric buzz of a packed studio was gone. Instead, the couple were greeted by the echo of their own footsteps and a smattering of cheers from a handful of crew members scattered across the cavernous studio. And yet, the show went on. In a moment that perfectly captured the resilience, professionalism, and humor that have defined their tenure, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos proved that even when the seats are empty, the heart of Live beats just as strongly. An empty studio and a historic storm. The reason behind the unusual setup wasn't a scheduling mishap or a technical glitch. It was nature. New York City had been placed under a state of emergency following the arrival of Winter Storm Fern, a massive weather system stretching nearly 2,000 miles and impacting more than 235 million Americans across approximately 40 states, from New Mexico all the way to Maine. According to reports, the storm blanketed New York City in close to a foot of snow and ice, rendering travel dangerous and shutting down much of the city. Roads were impassable, public transport severely disrupted, and authorities urged residents to stay indoors. For a show that prides itself on its live studio audience, an audience that laughs, claps, gasps, and feeds energy directly into the broadcast, the storm presented a rare challenge. Do you cancel? Or do you adapt? We are audience-free today. Live with Kelly and Mark chose the latter. The show aired as scheduled, but with a striking difference: no studio audience at all. The last time something like this happened? The height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when productions across the world were forced to rethink how television could function without crowds. That period fundamentally reshaped broadcasting, and for Live, it marked the last time the studio fell silent. This time, however, the silence came not from a virus, but from snow. As People magazine later reported, only a small group of essential crew members were present in the studio. Still, Ripa and Consuelos made their entrance just as they always do, walking out together, smiling, waving, and acknowledging the crowd. Only this time, the crowd consisted of about 6 people. Kelly, of course, noticed immediately. "That's loud for 6 of you," she joked, grinning, as the crew cheered. She didn't miss a beat. "We are audience-free today," Ripa announced, "with the exception of the people that already work here. Yay them." She gestured dramatically around the studio. "Yes, behold the size of our staff. Gigantic. I like this. We haven't done this since COVID." The laughter that followed may not have been thunderous, but was genuine, keeping the energy alive without applause. For any live performer, the absence of an audience can be disorienting. Applause cues timing. Laughter validates jokes. Reactions guide pacing. Yet Ripa and Consuelos leaned into the situation with ease, their chemistry filling the space where an audience would normally sit. This is where their decades-long partnership truly shined. They riffed. They teased each other. They embraced the awkwardness and turned it into comedy, transforming what could have felt eerie into something intimate and oddly special. Viewers at home noticed immediately. Social media lit up with praise for the pair's professionalism, with fans noting how seamlessly they kept the show's rhythm intact, despite the unusual circumstances. Talking snow, shovels, and unsatisfying workouts. Naturally, the snowstorm itself became a central topic of conversation. New York City had been buried under layers of snow and ice, turning sidewalks into skating rinks and doorsteps into mini mountains. Ripa and Consuelos discussed how the weather had impacted their own daily routines, including the age-old question of who handles snow removal. Kelly revealed that she had briefly considered taking on snow shoveling duties in front of their New York City townhouse. Briefly, "I asked you if I could do it," she explained to Mark on air. "But that idea didn't last long. You told me it won't be satisfying for you. There's no workout in it," Ripa recalled. Once she heard that, "Oh, forget that," she laughed. The exchange perfectly encapsulated their dynamic, playful, honest, and deeply familiar. It was less a talk show conversation and more a married couple's kitchen table banter, broadcast to millions. A rare glimpse behind the curtain. Without a studio audience, the show took on a different texture, one that longtime viewers found refreshing. There were fewer pauses. More direct eye contact with the camera. A sense that the hosts were speaking to the viewers at home rather than performing for a crowd in front of them. It was a reminder that Live has always thrived not because of spectacle, but because of connection. That connection between Kelly and Mark, and between the hosts and their audience, didn't disappear just because the seats were empty. If anything, it felt stronger. Welcoming guests amid the storm. Despite the weather chaos, Live with Kelly and Mark still welcomed guests to the show. Actor Jason Biggs and director Leslie Iwerks joined the broadcast, navigating the treacherous conditions to appear on air. Their presence underscored the commitment shared by everyone involved, hosts, guests, and crew alike, to keep the show running no matter what. The interviews unfolded smoothly, seamlessly integrated into the day's broadcast, proving that even extraordinary circumstances don't have to derail a well-oiled production. Why this moment mattered. Television history is filled with memorable, empty studio moments, from late-night monologues delivered to silence during COVID to award shows broadcast without applause. But moments like this one stand out because they highlight something deeper than novelty. They reveal professionalism. They reveal adaptability. They reveal heart. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos didn't just get through an unusual broadcast. They owned it. They laughed through it. They made viewers feel like part of something shared, a collective shrug at Mother Nature, and a determination to carry on anyway. The legacy of Live. Live has survived network changes, host transitions, cultural shifts, and global crises. Its longevity is rooted in one simple truth. People tune in not just for celebrity interviews or lifestyle segments, but for the feeling that they're starting their day with familiar faces. On this snowbound morning, that feeling didn't waver. If anything, the absence of a studio audience stripped the show back to its core, two hosts, a camera, and a conversation. And that was more than enough. When silence speaks volumes. As Winter Storm Fern continued to sweep across the country, impacting millions and disrupting daily life, Live with Kelly and Mark offered something quietly reassuring: consistency. In a world temporarily slowed by snow and ice, the show remained a constant, warm, humorous, and human. No audience, no applause, just Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos doing what they do best, and proving once again that no matter the circumstances, the show must go on.